Joining us live by way of Zoom. Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa, for joining us, and Paul Esana for what happened to you last week. However, the state of affairs as of now is the resignation of Beatrice Elachi. What could have orchestrated this?
I would not be in a position. I would not be in a position to answer that. Definitely, people have different reason why they stop working or why they resign. So personally, I would not like to comment on that. But definitely, also like one of the major key is lack of showing leadership. Again, calls for personal check. And yeah, maybe that's what transpired. But these are just speculation. We can only get the accurate answer from her.
But what is this thing we keep getting both from, I remember there was a time I hosted her on another forum, and also the governor has alleged this, that is Mike Mbuvi Sonko, that there are forces that are trying to destabilize Nairobi as a county. What could be informing those kind of sentiments?
See, I think everyone must, like most people, find scapegoats if they are unable to deliver. Because once you're chosen to a position, definitely you should equip yourself with all the, the armor you need to execute. So definitely, once someone is not able to deliver, definitely people will come up with, excuses. I mean, there is no job without challenges, and it's up to us, if you're up to task, to make sure that we deliver without focusing on sideshows.
Mm-hmm. And what is this about the clerk, that is Jacob Ngwele? Why is it that his presence as the clerk of the county assembly has literally divided that house into two?
I'll beg to differ. Like I say, that is a narrative that is being sold. I am not aware of a divided house in terms of clerk. The law is clear. He's the substantive clerk, but he was told to step aside pending investigation. But his assistant was told to take over. So clearly, once law is followed, I don't think we should be having all this up and down kind of.
We also saw the gentleman move to court in a bid to stop the appointment of Akuku as the acting clerk within the National Assembly, which then begs a question. Why is he doing this? If, as per the Values and Principles Act, you're supposed to step aside, allow for investigations, why would he persist to stay on as clerk? And why isn't the county assembly standing its ground firmly?
County assembly, it's a house of rules, procedures, and regulation. Mark my words, there are no rules. There've been a lot of irregularities, being orchestrated left, right, center. And honestly and firmly, I would say it's not in order that the perceived person or the purported person is the one who's supposed to take over that office. We have one clerk, assistant clerk called Ada, who is still in the office. So definitely, if you get someone trying to push their agenda or to push their person, you actually question as why. Why is it of their interest that they want this particular person to be there?
Exactly.
Those are the questions we should be asking ourselves. But there's a lot of diversionary tactics. Oh, it's about this one, it's about this one. Today it's about the clerk. Tomorrow it's about the assistant clerk. Tomorrow it's about,
Yeah, and of course yesterday.
All those are not true.
And of course, yesterday, we, in fact, not only yesterday, for some time now, we've seen the governor pushing the narrative that, you know what, whatever happened at State House during the transfer of some functions is not exactly something I was willing to do. That is the governor saying that even these functions are still under me as we speak. What does that then say about the county assembly, not even the county assembly, the county government of Nairobi as of now?
what that says is he still needs to answer Nairobians who elected him. At the end of the day, whether these functions were transferred, he needs to be involved in execution. Because at the end of the day, that's what Nairobians will judge him with. So it's just, it's actually executing his mandate. At the end of the day, we are answerable to electorates.
All right.
Yeah. So whether they're transferred function or not transferred function, definitely we've got someone else who maybe can execute. And I would want to categorically and clearly say, as Nairobi County, yes, we support the creation of Nairobi Metropolitan. But that doesn't mean that we should not ask questions. We are the one who give them budget, definitely. So we still need to do our oversight job.
All right, Mheshimiwa, just stay with us. I will be back with you shortly, but I just need to get the view of another colleague of yours. I'm talking about Honorable Malaba Atema. Thank you so much for joining us, and maybe we can kickstart by you. Probably you could tell us what you think could have orchestrated the resignation of Beatrice Elachi as Speaker of the County Assembly of Nairobi. Mheshimiwa.
Good morning. My thinking is there's been so many challenges in the county assembly. I really blame the transition of every era. When we got to the assembly, county assembly, there's so many hitches that were pending. When we start with the history of those ones who were there before us, they were the best teachers for us to tell us this is wrong, this is right. And then, even when the speaker came in, this handing over was not done well, so that she learns also from the other speaker the challenges of this house. She came with a good new mind of moving Nairobi forward from the past to the better. But I think most of us believe in the past that the way we've known City Hall, that is the way we should go there and live with the same culture of City Hall, of doing things the way we want it to be done.
Are you then telling us, Mheshimiwa, that Beatrice Elachi is a victim of circumstances?
Yes, she's a victim of circumstances.
Which circumstances are this?
The City Hall has remained City Hall that everybody knew, for chairs and tables running across the hall. The people in City Hall, we members, we don't believe in rule of law. And also the rules of and procedures that we are being told each and every time in our standing orders. When you try to execute the rules and laws and the standing orders, you will find that you're touching on some other people who will feel uncomfortable. So she has been trying to clear, but now the problem is the technical know-how, because for you to move forward, everybody has to be on board. She has tried to bring everybody on board, but still we find people who are not interested to be on board. Definitely you will not deliver when you're not together.
And let's talk about bringing everyone on board. Where is Jacob Ngwele in all this? I mean, he has been the clerk for some time now. So what does that say about bringing everyone on board?
When she came in the first time, we worked together, and the assembly found that she is not fit, and they said she should be impeached. They tried and it worked. Then the court brought her back. When she came back, she called everybody on the table that let us now work together and see where am I wrong and where are you people wrong, together with the governor. It reached at some point, and then we started falling off. The governor said he's feeling that she's betraying him. Those are the things that would have been put on the table. We hear that this is the side that you're wrong, and this is the side of the other one is wrong. Then we bring it together. In all institutions, you will not work independently. The governor, the speaker, the MCAs cannot work independently on their own without coming back on the table. Having wrangles is normal, but we need to know, how do we solve the wrangles? All of us should be willing. The assembly and the entire county was not willing to come on a common table to clear out all the wrangles that I have with you, or so and so have with the other one. That is what is killing us.
And you know,
We
we've seen
blame
the,
one person.
we've seen the former speaker now, Beatrice Elachi, talk about bigger forces trying to control the county government of Nairobi. We've seen the governor himself say that there are bigger forces trying to control the government, the county government of Nairobi. If these forces are known, why not make it public that these are the people who are hindering development in the county government of Nairobi? Why not make it public?
Exactly. That is my point. Even as we are in the darkness, we would also love to hear who are these people who are distracting Nairobi from moving forward. Governor has his own story that most of us don't know, because we're already in camp. So as we are left hanging, the speaker doesn't know. She has her own, the way she's saying the powers that we don't know. It should be brought on the table so that we iron out as leaders. But what I know is governor has a version of being told the speaker is destroying you. The speaker also has a version that governor is the one who is behind everything. Then you will even tell on small stories when everything is happening in town. You will see goons coming around and you're told, these ones are from this direction. These ones are from this direction. The problem here is a common table of talking and understanding each other and knowing what we've come to do in Nairobi. The speaker has been providing an environment of can we talk? But the other forces who are in between to tell the governor, no, she should just go. It's now the problem. We've played a very bad role as MCS.
Yeah, we'll be getting to you. Yeah, Malaba, thank you so much. I can see that you're back with us. Let me ask you, what is the role and position of Jacob Ngwele in all this? The whole storm, the twists and the turns. What is the role and position of Jacob Ngwele as clerk contributing to all of it?
I wouldn't want to speculate anything about Jacob Ngwele, but I would want to put it clearly that the assembly, this MCS, all of us were in a house where all of us said Ngwele must go, and it is on record. After we said that, he went to court. From the court said he steps aside. And before that, the acting clerk who is there now, who I'm being told is now the acting clerk, she was interdicted. There's a letter that has been circulated, even in the assembly it was discussed. Madam Speaker created an ad hoc committee to take into the welfare of the staff and the way they do their thing. The purported acting clerk, she had stayed away from work for some time, and she was interdicted. So when they went to court and the court told Ngwele to step aside and allow the acting clerk to speak, to act, that is where now the interpretation of everything went wrong.
Yeah.
We don't know, did the court mean the clerk? The clerk from that she was given a mandate to act. The court is the one now which has not interpreted well when they say they should go back and tell the acting clerk to take over. That is now where the confusion is.
No, I remember towards the onset of the launch of the Nairobi Metropolitan Services, all MCAs went to State House under a courtesy call by the President. What are some of the issues you resolved to do as members of County Assembly to see the realization of a better Nairobi for everyone?
What we agreed in State House is, yes, the deed of transfer has happened. How do we get ourselves to work with the NMS? And when we agreed with the President we are going to work with NMS, the methodology is what missed. Because we didn't know the NMS would be a threat to the office of the governor, or the office of the governor will be a threat to the office of NMS, because we don't know now, because there's some superiority forces there that is really confusing everything. People feel, as an MCA, if I align myself maybe to the NMS, I am on the right direction with the government. The others feel, because governor, we elected him, let us align with him, we'll be on the right direction. So when you aligned on one side, you find yourself being now looked at as an enemy of.
Yeah.
It's taken through the relationship between the NMS and the governor now with the county assembly. And also on the equal grounds, so that the superiority issue should not be there.
Because
it would have worked well.
And that is exactly what confuses everyone, Mheshimiwa, because you were called by the President to agree to work together, but clearly, months down the line, that is not happening. So what exactly is happening with the county government of Nairobi? What's with the power play?
All right, the power play, if you ask me, I am looking at it as generally superiority of each other. We want to know, this speaker is in the central place of the assembly. Should she work together with the NMS directly, or should she work directly with the governor? Now, when this all transfer of issue and transition came, nobody came down, even from the higher office, to sit with us and tell us this is how you're supposed to relate. It is a new thing in the blues. Nobody told us this is the way we are supposed to relate to the NMS and also to the governor. The governor was elected by people. He has to have his power respected. The speaker also was elected by the assembly. She also has to have her powers respected. Then the NMS was brought to us. So when a new wife comes in the house, you have to sit and be put together with harmony, and then we draw lines. We say this is for the NMS, this is for the governor, this is where the speaker gets. But all these things has been put in one pot, and it's been like a concoction of now hatred.
And 5 months down the line, has NMS delivered on what it was supposed to do in your assessment as an MCA?
NMS has really tried so hard. But even if I say it has tried so hard, have we checked what the other governor had done? Then we say from here to here is where the NMS has done. To me, I still feel like still a confusion. But NMS has tried. Why has it tried? It has not involved itself in politics. So their work is, you can see you can see their work separately. But when the governor does, governor has to go with MCAs, and you'll feel maybe he's doing one side and leaving the other side. Some MCAs complaining. But now you see NMS will wake up and come to my ward, Kawangwara, and they do what they want to do without even me being involved. So for them, they have tried, they're delivering what they came to do. But now the problem is, even if you're delivering and the other side is not happy, when you're delivering, where is this governor? When the bulls fight, the grass suffering, a mess, and the governor are not together.
Right. We apologize for the quality of signal, but at times it hangs. But you know what? That is the reality with the Nairobi County Assembly. It needs to understand. People need to understand what exactly is happening, what exactly is ailing Nairobi County as an assembly and as a county. Do we still have Manyasi with us? Alex Manyasi,
yes,
thank you so much for joining us. He is a political commentator. Now, in your assessment, kindly tell us what you think could be ailing Nairobi County Assembly and the county government as a whole.
I think even from the discussions that you're having with the honorable members of the County Assembly, you can almost see where the challenges are. And I am on record having spoken on this show before and having said two things. Number one, I had said that some of us felt like the decision that was taken to transfer functions was a bit unilateral, in the sense that the governor was elected by Nairobians. By the time Nairobians were consulted, they saw it in the media that their functions had been transferred to a different person. That's one. But two, from the discussions that you're hearing from the members of the County Assembly, you can clearly see how there's no separation of power or functions at the County Assembly of Nairobi, which should not be the case, because we should be having a clear separation of power between the legislature and the executive. But of course, the two are melded together, and therefore those wrangles will definitely show up. You cannot have a scenario where the County Assembly, the members of the County Assembly, the office of the Speaker, and of the office of the Governor all meddled together, and therefore you have a scenario where it's not possible to know whose function is which one. And so if there was that clarity in terms of them working independently, then it will be a better Nairobi. But I'm also on record having said on this show that the transfer of functions happened. And I remember having appealed to the president and said, yes, the functions have been transferred. However, the president and State House will need to manage the politics. That obviously has come to pass. And as you can see, the politics has not been managed. And the two antagonizing centers have bundled Elachi out. If you ask me, Elachi has just left because
managing loyalties, politically speaking, given the situation in Nairobi, can be a bit tricky because the governor will feel he owes allegiance to the people. Then an NMS director was appointed by the president, so therefore allegiance could shift politically. How well do you manage this particular situation? How do we get ourselves out of it?
You know, there are leaders in the county assembly. There's the leader of majority and there's the leader of minority. So there are leadership within the county assembly. And so, unless you're telling me that the leadership of the county assembly has completely no idea and no clue what is going on, then those are the people who should be guiding the members in terms of what direction the county assembly needs to be taking. And so the connection between State House and the office of the Speaker and the governor, that is connected to the office of the leader of majority and leader of minority. And so because you see, even these people are connected to parties. And so if you're talking about the leader of majority, who is connected to the Jubilee Party, whose party leader is Uhuru Kenyatta, and then you have the other side whose leader is also Raila Odinga. It's very easy, by the way, for them. If they wanted to manage Nairobi, they can manage Nairobi very well by just using the leadership. And the leaders will whip the members depending on the direction they want the city to go. And of course, if that doesn't work, then there are disciplinary measures that can be taken up. So there are procedures that can be followed to actually make sure that Nairobi works. However, you can take it to the bank. There are also cartels in Nairobi that are also running the city. So because of that, they will not allow arrest to happen. And my hope at that time was that because the government has the machinery and the intelligence and everything to deal with those kind of things, then you will expect that the government should have taken control of those so that the members of the county assembly can do what they were elected to do, so that the governor can run the functions that he had remained with, and so that the NMS boss can also run the functions that had been transferred to him.
But you say,
but since
Manyasi,
all these things, yes.
You say that they have the machinery and the capability to, you know, step in and make sure that everyone toes the line. But that has not happened yet. And when you listen to both factions, they will tell you that there is a big man control over the state of affairs within the county government of Nairobi. So these are some of the issues we will be looking at with you. So kindly still stay with us. I'm with Honorable Atema, Honorable Modeu, and Alex Manyasi. I almost said Honorable Manyasi, but Alex Manyasi is a political commentator. And together we shall be looking into the issues within the county government of Nairobi. For now, we are taking a break. We return with much more up, and including your voice after these messages.